Here we have a question which requires linear equation in two variables. We have a shopkeeper who is selling a saree and a sweater. Now we need to find out the cost price of these two items. Let the cost price of the saree be X rupees and let the cost price of the sweater be Y rupees. Now he got the saree for X rupees. Did he sell it for the same amount of money? No, he was lucky. He sold it at 8% profit. Now what about Y? He got the sweater for Y rupees. Did he sell it for the same amount? No. Unfortunately, this he had to sell at a discount of how much? Of 10%. And what happened? When he made this deal, he got 1008 rupees out of it. Now, how do both of these terms look like? So now, what does this mean? If he got the saree for X rupees, the cost price is X rupees, he was lucky enough to sell it for how much? 1.08x rupees, which means what? If he spent 100 rupees on buying the saree, he sold it for 108 rupees, which is good, right? Now, what happened with the sweater? Which means if he had got for Y rupees, unfortunately he had to sell it for just 0.9 Y rupees, or in other words, if maybe he got the for 100 rupees, he had to sell it at just 90 rupees. He had to give it at a discount. Now this is how your first equation looks like. Now if you are someone who does not like decimals, I am really sorry. This must be disappointing for you, but unfortunately this is the best method. This is the easiest method for you to calculate. Any other kind of calculation will require very big numbers and a lot of calculations. For example, you can even do it this way. This is how the selling price of the saree looks like, right? So you can even do it like this. Then you will get 29 by 25 into X. So this will be another way of dealing with it. Instead of dealing with decimals, you can just multiply with 100 and your terms will look like this. But as I said, again, you will be dealing with bigger numbers. Feel free to do whichever way you like it. Inshallah, if you use the correct method, you will get the correct answer. Now this is how our first equation looks like. Now he is considering another deal. The first deal got him 1008 rupees. Now he is considering another deal where he can sell the saree at how much? 10% profit, and then the sweater at how much discount? At 8% discount for the sweater. That will give him more money. It will give him 1028 rupees. Now how do these two terms look like? So this is how our second linear equation looks like. What does this mean? If he got the saree for X rupees, he sold it for 1.1x rupees. Or in other words, if he got the saree for 100 rupees, he made 110 back. He made a 10 rupees profit for every 100 rupees that he spent. But unfortunately for the sweater, if he spent Y rupees buying it, he had to sell it at this price, which means for every 100 rupees he got only 92 rupees back. This is the situation we have here. We have two equations. Let us solve them. So these are the two equations that we are dealing with. You can solve it using any method, substitution or elimination. You can solve it using any method, but before you start your calculations, let us just try our luck. If we are lucky, we can reduce it to a simpler form. How does that happen? try adding it or subtracting it. Subtracting is always better because you will get lesser numbers when you subtract. So try subtracting it and see if you can bring it to a more simpler form. We will just try if something comes out of it. Let us subtract the first two terms, then how will it look like? You will get a 0.02x, and what about this? This also. So this itself is good news, right? Both of them getting the same coefficient. And then when you subtract here, you get 20. Then you can multiply throughout with 100. That way what will happen? You will lose the decimal point. In both the cases, you will lose the decimal point if you multiply throughout with 100. But then here you have to add 2 zeros. Now divide by 2, then you get what? X plus y is equal to 1000. There. It turned out that we are lucky. We just got that x and y added together should give you 1000, which means take x is equal to 1000 minus y and put it in any of these two equations. Any one will work. I will put it here. So your x is 600, which means your y was what? It was 1000 minus 600, which is what? 400. So that is all for today. Till I meet you again. Assalamu alaikum.